Hey everybody. I don't know, I really hope that I'm not crusty. And this was quite literally one of those random on Sunday. Oh, sorry. On Sundays is when I do the bulk of my coaching with my clients. And so these are the private one-on-one clients, and sometimes they need coaching on sometimes, and sometimes they're out playing, and they're like, "Well, I don't need it today." I'm like, "That's great, no problem." So that leaves me some open space on Sunday, and today is one of those open spaces because they're out playing, and I love when they're out playing and having a good time because that's what it's all about, right? Emotional wellness. But that prompted me to reach out to some other clients and just kind of offer just an ear today. And one of those clients, I am preparing him for a Saturn return. And I want to talk about Saturn returns in the way that I look at them, the way that I observe them from my experience. This is not going to be according to any Google search. This is not going to be according to the stars necessarily. This is not going to be according to probably most of anything you've ever read, right? This is I'm going to say opinion, but this is also a strong opinion that's built on years of case study and work in this field. Saturn returns. What Saturn represents to many people is different, and it really kind of just depends on what systems you follow and your personal belief, right? Your personal belief will let you know what Saturn, because you guys know, if you don't know, let me go back a little bit more because there may be people here that don't know. If you don't know and you're not familiar with any of these things, first of all, I'm Kelly Marisha. Hey, welcome. Thanks for joining. Like, share, and subscribe, please. That will help me out. I'm building this channel, and I would like to get up to 500 subscribers by the end of July. And I think I can do that with your help. So if you find this video helpful today, learn something, share it with someone, like it, and please subscribe. Consider subscribing. So, natal charts. If you've never heard of any of this, please, you're going to Google. Some of this stuff I'm going to give you to research. You're going to do your own. You're going to do your own lifting, and that's very important to do in this journey. Everything cannot be spoon-fed to you. But if you do not understand about planetary placements and whatnot, just start with the natal chart, Natal, natal. And it is similar to what you hear, the word natal. It's when you were born. It's a screenshot of all the planets and their placements the moment you were born to calculate that you're going to need the date you were born, the location, city and state, but what's also as important is the time. Now, some of you all do not know the time you were born. I'm going to give you 3 tips for that. Go look at your birth certificate. That is a very good way that you're going to have the time that you were born on your original birth certificate. If you don't have your original birth certificate, think about any stories that anybody has told you about your birth. Sometimes when you listen to stories, like one person was saying, well, I know there was a football game on. Well, you know you were born in the early afternoon, right? Or somebody was like, yeah, it was dark at night. Well, then you may not know exactly when you were born at night, but you can kind of spin around the planets, the placements. Some of the placements move every 2 hours, right? But you can get close. And a third tip for that is, again, kind of intuitively how you feel about when you were born. But when you do that, when you can most natal charts, when you calculate them, you can calculate a couple of them. And I recommend that if you're not really sure exactly when you were born, but you're intuitively saying, okay, I think I was born in the morning, or I think I was born in the evening, run both of those. Just throw out some times, read both of them, and feel which one you feel more aligned to. And that'll be a kind of a good way for you to kind of see what your natal chart says your placements. Really important. These placements are important. These placements are quintessentially much more important than just knowing your sun sign. It's not about just rolling out talking about I'm an Aries, I'm a Taurus, bitch. Nobody cares. It's not about that. Like, that's baby shit. At this point, you need to have your natal chart, because you need to know not just your sun sign, because the older you get and the more mature you get, you grow out of your sun sign. At least you grow out of a lot of the negative attributes that come very easily for your sun sign. For example, I'm an Aries by nature. And that definitely made me be hot-tempered and hot-headed and quick and a loose cannon and all that jazz. But I am a Sagittarius moon. And even though it is a fire sign, do not get it twisted about a Sagittarius. Sagittariuses are not fighters. They're the type that's going to actually like, for me, I think Sagittarius is a close to damn near Virgos. They the ones that's going to sit there and try to like calculate something to like blow your house up, right? You got to be real careful with the Sagittarius. They're sensitive as hell when it comes to they're sensitive to hell as hell when it comes to emotions. That's my moon sign. Your moon deals with your emotions. So they're very sensitive and introspective and very, again, it's very Virgo-esque. If you know anything about Virgos, it's very internal. It's going to go down rabbit holes. It's very analytical in some ways. Knowing your moon sign is important. It's not just about your sun sign. So I'm saying all that not to go off on a tangent, but if you look up your natal chart, you're going to find out that you have a lot of placements everywhere along the charts and stuff you didn't. Hold on one second, you all. Sorry. I had somebody messaging me, and if I didn't stop it, then they wouldn't be messaging me. So they wouldn't stop messaging, and I didn't want to get cut off from you all. So anyway, knowing your entire natal chart is very, very, very important. And why I went down the natal chart is because each planet represents something, right? Your moon sign, it is my belief. Now, again, when I tell you this, everybody's beliefs are going to be a little bit different. This is going to be today's about your Saturn return is going to be about how I'm looking at things, how I look at the chart when you're working with me as a mentor, as a coach, whatever. This is how I'm going to interpret it. This is what I'm looking at. Your moon sign is representative of your mother and your the way you processed things emotionally. Then when you go to your Saturn, for me, the Saturn represents the father. And it's not just stopping at the father. Hey, confetti, yee, confetti. It's not just stopping at the father, but it is also, for me, representing structure and foundation. And I'm going to stop at those words, structure and foundation, Saturn. Because when you're working with me, sorry for asking, what are you talking about, by the way? I love your glasses. Thank you, confetti. So I'm talking about a Saturn return. I'm going to teach anybody who's on here today about a Saturn return and what that means, okay? I'm giving you some basis right now, what the Saturn return means. Starting at the natal chart, you have to go back to the beginning of the video because I'm not going to go through all that. But starting at getting your natal chart, finding your placements, where the natal chart is the screenshot of where all the planets were the moment that you were born. It's just telling you where Mars was when you were born, where Jupiter was when you were born, where where the moon was when you were born. And why this matters is because where they were when you were born, absolutely, I don't care what anybody says, they can argue with their mama. And before I let somebody argue with me, let me run your chart and tell you who you are. Call me a liar once I see your chart. Once I see your chart and tell you all the shit I'm looking at, tell you about your relationship with your mom and your dad and discipline and your lack of creativity, once I run your chart and tell you, then you tell me I'm lying. You can't do it. I ain't met not one person that has been able to call me a liar or call the natal chart a liar. I've never met them. Never met them. Just personally, right? So Saturn to me, when you're working with me, I'm going to be with you. We're going to look at your Saturn, and your Saturn is going to represent the father, but it's not just about the father. It's going to represent the structure, the foundation, and even the discipline. Structure, foundation, discipline. Those are those three words I'm going to use for Saturn. Structure, foundation, discipline. Okay? Now, all of this matters because then I'm going to ask you about your relationship with your father. And people have various kinds of relationships with their actual biological fathers. The biological father matters, even if you don't know them. The stepfather matters. The stepfathers matter. Any kind of male influence that their job was to establish structure and foundation and order in your life, it matters in those areas, okay? Now, the Saturn return typically happens pay attention. Here's where we go. Going to the Saturn return. It typically happens for most people, male or female, doesn't matter, between the ages of 27 and 30. Between the ages of 27 and 30. If you're older than 27 or 30 in here, drop some hearts. If you're older than 30, drop some hearts. Because my question to you is this. If you looked back in your life, if you're older than 30, if you look back at your life between the ages of 27 and 30, what happened in your life? Everybody has a life-changing situation between the ages of 27 and 30, and that is because of a Saturn return. That life-shifting change, that life-shifting change between 27 and 30, it changed the foundation of who you are. Not were, like, after that portal of a Saturn return, you are different. You can never go back. It rocks you to your fucking core. I probably shouldn't cuss so much because I don't know YouTube's like restrictions policies, but I cuss a lot, right? Somebody's like, you're spiritual. How do you cuss? A lot. The fuck? Cussing is a part of the spirit. Cussing is a part of everything. Nothing separate from it. Just because, if you want to separate it, I don't do that. I operate in oneness. Everything is everything. Everything is everything. Everything. And so, if you're over here, just know that I'm going to cuss a lot and frequently. Saturn return. Your Saturn return is very, very, very important. And if you're not over 30 and you're in here, go ask someone who is over 30. Take a couple of people. Do it. Like, prove me now herewith, said the Lord of hosts. That's what y'all's Bible says. I'm not a Christian, but I know the Bible. But that's what the Bible says. Prove me now. Prove it. Go find you 2 or 3 people that are, now try not to get nobody over 40, maybe 45, because baby, I'm telling you, when you get so old, the memories kind of get, I don't know shit. I'm always going to remember my Saturn return because my dad died. I'm never going to forget that. Well, my dad, remember Saturn deals with the father, and my dad was the foundation. When my dad died, and I'm the baby of 3, so when my dad died, that shook the fuck out of me. Not only was I 27, I was 27. I was turning 28. And he was in a coma in the hospital on my birthday. So we started at 27. By the time he died, I had turned 28. All this happened like in a 2-week span, us camped out at that hospital. I'm 27, my birthday's in a week. He's still not waking up on my birthday. And it's so funny. I'll never forget, it was a sweet little moment. And he's in a coma. And I'm like, if you get up, I'll give you some of this cake. Because my dad loves sweets. He had a sugar issue. I was like, you get up, you open your eyes. I'll give you some of this cake. I'll sneak it to you, right? That was just me being funny. That was our thing, right? But that didn't happen. He ended up passing. And I ended up turning 28 in the hospital, right? So, yeah, my Saturn return was very bam. Everybody between the ages of 27 and 30 will experience their Saturn return. And I cannot tell you what will happen for you because everybody's Saturn return is different. What I can assure you, I can assure you without a shadow of a doubt, as sure as my name is Kelly, I can assure you that it will be big, it will be impactful, and it will change your life forever. Now, at first, believe it or not, you think, the death of a parent, that's the worst thing possible. And it is emotionally, the feeling of it's the worst thing possible. But for me personally, when I think about what transitioned after the death, because if you think about life and death, again, I operate in oneness, right? So death is hard for me, but it is not, I'm not about to be taken out because of death, because I know that death is necessary for growth and death is necessary for rebirth. And I rebirthed after my father's death. I was able to be free enough to rebirth. My dad was very spiritual, very churched, very into the church. And to be honest, I don't think that I would have transitioned into this woman that is able to help so many people now. I wouldn't been able to freely transition into this energy, to this position, to this seat of a teacher, right? Had my dad still been alive, because it would have literally been a stronghold. It would have been a rope around me. It would have been, you know what I mean? And so, him passing definitely freed that portal up for me to be able to step into this posture of a teacher. So, it was necessary. Painful, but necessary. If you're getting ready to come up on your Saturn return, okay? If you're getting ready to turn 27, and anywhere between, you're in that Saturn return for 3 years, 27 to 30, okay? If you're anywhere in between there, my recommendation to you is to be doing self-work. What is self-work? Going back to your childhood, looking at all the kind of shit, letting the memories come out, getting your therapist. If you know you have a diagnosis, fucking go get your diagnosis diagnosed. Oh my God, like, it's at this point, it's silly not to get your diagnosis if you have one. And it's not for you to necessarily be on a whole bunch of fucking drugs, but you need to know how you're wired. Because if you just know how you're wired, you can help your damn self. But sitting here denying stuff and trying to like be a square peg in a round hole, you're going to make it worse. Go ahead and get your diagnosis now so you can know how you're wired, so you can know how you need to move. Not everybody else. It ain't nobody else's responsibility to move no kind of way around you. This your wiring. So you need to know how to maneuver and be around other people. Or who you not going to be around. Once you know your wiring, you know certain people trigger you because of the energy that they hold, stay off from around them. It's real easy. It's real easy, especially because I think fucking everybody has, neurologically wired very uniquely, right? And we may be in some groups and categories and some similarities, but everybody's wired differently because of upbringing, your experiences. Everybody's just, that's nature. But it is, it is just kind of, it doesn't exist. Normal doesn't exist. Boom, let me just say it like that. Without going into deep. Normal does not exist. Thank you, Confetti. I hope you did learn something cool. Thank you for subscribing. If you guys are liking anything I'm saying, please subscribe. Saturn return, okay? So it's dealing with your foundation. It's dealing with the father. It's dealing with order, your structure, discipline. That's what it's dealing with. And so during your Saturn return, something of that sort, something about your foundation, your structure, your order is gonna be shooketh. Okay? It's gonna be shook. And it's important for you to go ahead and like that, learning, having a diagnosis and learning how you're wired is going to help you establish a new foundation before the fucking carpet gets pulled out from under you. It's the Christian Bible says that warning comes before destruction. And you have plenty of time right now to go ahead and go get a therapist and say, what do you think? You know what I mean? Because also therapists can give you great tools and like exercises to do to strengthen your cognitive behavior, or to help you if you have a mood imbalance, to help you, find triggers and help you balance your mood. Again, to understand who you are so that you're not trying to like throw it on other people for them responsibility to like behave a certain way around you or tiptoe or walk on eggshells around you, because nobody owes you that, right? But the more that you can learn yourself and learn how you are and your wiring and all that jazz, the better it is going to be for you when that Saturn return hits, because it's going to hit your foundation. It's going to hit the very thing that you feel like is stabilizing you. For many people, it hits their money, because a lot of people feel like money stabilizes them. Money is their foundation. You've never suffered in your life. You've never struggled in your life. You may come from families where they have always stepped in and took care of you. Or you may have been a person, let's say you were a high achiever in school, right? And you got all the degrees, baby. You got a master's degree and you working on your PhD, right? And you getting ready to go into your Saturn return and you think your education is your foundation. And then something throws you off. And listen, if you don't start working on, this is the Saturn return, ages 27 through 30. If you're age 27 through 30, you need to be listening, okay? Your foundation is getting ready to be rocked. Hey, Abby, you just joined. Yes. Well, Abby, listen, you definitely need to go back to the front of this video. I can't, it's so much information on here. There's no way I can go all the way back. But I'm talking about a Saturn return. And if you're in the ages of 27 through 30, or you're getting ready to get to 27 through 30, stay tuned, right? Your Saturn return, the planet Saturn deals with the father. It deals with order, structure, and your foundation. And during the ages of 27 through 30, there is an occurrence that will happen. It happens to everybody. If you don't believe me, go ask people that are like 35 and under, 40. Ask anybody who's 45 and 40 and 35. What happened to you when you were between the ages of 27 and 30? You remember anything that happened to you? Every single one of them. Every single one of them will tell you something very big that happened to them, and that very big thing reshaped who they are. It reshaped who they are today. It like literally, there's a portal open between 27 and 30. When you go, you don't have a choice. You are fucking drop kicked through that portal. You don't have a choice. You don't have no choice to just walk nicely through it. You might as well just go on and comply and go on through the portal, because everybody has to do it. And most of us kick and scream because for me, it involved death. And did I want to see my dad die? No. So definitely we didn't go out without a fight. You know what I mean? We was all fighting trying to keep him here. But nevertheless, and it was inevitable, it was going to happen, right? It's during my Saturn return. And you don't just have, I'm talking about Saturn return today, right? Just 27 through 30. I'll come back next time because we got to talk about the ages of 32 through 34. And then we've got to talk about the ages of 38 to about 43. You have these spaces in your life. If you don't, people call this woo-woo mysticism, like that's ignorant. Stop being ignorant. I'm going to say it again. Stop fucking being ignorant. There are tools, resources, spiritual practices that predate shit that we can't even imagine. Go educate yourself. Go learn. You don't have to believe in everything to start reading and learning. Your mind and your body will filter out what is truth for you. You don't have to have these big restrictions on what you can read and who you can listen to. Your DNA is so fucking sophisticated. Your brain is so fucking elite. There's not an AI that can compete with your brain. Some of y'all may feel like you're stupid and you feel like you don't know nothing. There is not an AI that is concocted or created that could be superior to your fucking brain. And we only use about 30% of it, right? Your brain, your subconscious, your spirit will filter out what is truth for you and what is not. You got to learn how to trust yourself. Go read. I was raised Christian, born and raised in a Christian, basically a cult, like a Pentecostal cult. So I know what it's like to have been like scared out of learning and attaining knowledge. I know this firsthand because I was groomed and raised to be very afraid and demonize other people's beliefs, a lack of understanding. The Christian Bible says that people perish for the lack of knowledge. The Christian Bible says that. But then they were capping the level of knowledge and the realm and the space of knowledge that we could actually take. They wanted to control the knowledge that we got in. And that's not how that works. Knowledge is so fucking intergalactic. Go get it. Go read, go listen, go educate yourself. Go just be open to listen to people's stories. You can get a bunch of knowledge just for listening to people's stories, right? Saturn return, ages 27 through 30. Something catastrophic happens in that moment. And I just wanted everybody, if you're on here, age 27, I'm about to head out because I don't want my videos too long. But the Saturn return, how to plan for it, start doing your work. Start doing your inner work. Start looking at your foundation. Start looking at the things that you feel like keep you safe. And start looking at, why do I feel like this keeps me safe? And if I lost this tomorrow, would I still be safe? How can I feel safe? Feeling safe is a feeling. You do not have to have the circumstance of safe to feel safe. You do not have to have things in place around you to feel. You can feel any way you want to. You can fabricate a feeling anytime you want to. If you don't believe me, when we get off this live, start laughing. Just bust out laughing for no reason. Play. Start laughing. And if you make yourself laugh for about 30 seconds, you're going to fuck around and start laughing for real. Like, I don't even know what I'm laughing at. I just feel joy, because you can induce a feeling. You can induce and fabricate feelings, and you need to be really good at it. If you're in an energetic lifestyle and you want to manifest shit, You start practicing laughing. That will teach you that you could induce and bring in feelings, but you could, just as quickly as you can induce the feeling of joy and happiness, you can induce the feeling of safety. You do not have to have safe things around you to feel safe. When I was living in my SUV, I didn't have two nickels to rub together, but I felt safe. Why? Because I was committed to feeling safe no matter what was or wasn't around me. Walls couldn't make me feel safe because Breonna Taylor was inside of her walls and police came in and shot her. Walls do not guarantee safety. As domestic violence victims, walls do not keep you safe. Come on, use your brain. What makes you feel safe is you committed to, I'm going to feel secure. I'm going to feel safe. I am safe. You're repeating that to yourself. You're doing that as you go to sleep, as you're slowing down your brain waves. And you're repeating your mantra to yourself so that it can penetrate your subconscious. You want to penetrate your subconscious? Get you some phrases you can say to yourself as you're going to sleep. It's all about slowing down the brain waves. Whatever you put into your psyche when your brain waves are slowest is what's going to penetrate and infiltrate the subconscious. Give it some time. I cannot tell you, nobody can tell you, they're liars. Nobody can tell you if it's going to take a day, 21 days, 14 days. The days depend on you. It depends on how quickly you're going to accept what you're telling yourself. It's going to be as quickly as you're willing to let stupid, ignorant shit go that's blocking if you told yourself you're safe, then all this shit that's ignorant, you got to let it go that makes you feel unsafe. You got to let it go just as quick as you can think it. Nope, I'm safe. I feel safe. I'm so safe. And before you know it, you have literally hypnotized yourself and brainwashed. Was I safe in that SUV with crackheads around me? That's subjective, right? But all I know is that I felt safe, and I felt safe enough to quantum jump my ass to Mexico. Quantum jumping absolutely has to deal with the feeling. And I can teach people better than anybody that I know about inducing a feeling so that you can jump to where you want to go. You said your boyfriend betrayed me, please advise. What do you want me to tell you? I don't have no advice. What you want to do? In a relationship, everybody wins. If you're lonely and desperate and need somebody to love you to be validated, then you stay. That's where you're going to stay. Let them betray you in peace. If you're going to stay because that's what you need, that's your story. Your story is telling you I need a man beside me. Okay, then that's your story. Stay there. But if you don't want that story anymore, and if you don't like it, and if you want to be a person that's not betrayed, like I'm respected, I'm loved. Loyalty didn't leave. I can't. Child, I'm the wrong person to talk about relationships because relationships are things that, as far as romantic relationships, I have great relationships with girls, like my friends. I have an inner circle that's dynamic, decades of tenure. I'm friends with people that I was friends with when I was 2 years old. So I don't have a problem with relationships in agape relationships. Eros relationships, I have weird beliefs about that, so you wouldn't want to ask me about that because I'm a goddess. And the moment that is not recognized through action, behavior, anything, I'm out. I don't stick with anything, so therefore I'm not really good with romantic relationships. I don't stick through bullshit. I do not. I let people sit in their own bullshit without my energy. Anyway, your Saturn return, okay, ages 27 through 30. It's coming. If you're not there yet, it's coming. If you don't believe me, go ask someone who's a little bit older than you. What happened to you between the ages of 27 and 30? Did something catastrophic or really big happen in your life, ages 27 through 30? And give them a minute and they're going to tell you. Yeah, this happened. And it changes you fundamentally. Your foundation is rocked and shifted and can never be the same. The things that you thought were making you safe were probably ripped out from under you. Like the whole structure of your life completely did a 180. Saturn return is coming. Then we'll talk in another video about your Christ consciousness between the ages of 32 and 34. We'll talk about that later. Then we'll go to the ages 38 through 43. because there's another shift there. A lot of people will mistakenly call it a midlife crisis, and that's not what it is. But we'll talk about that later. I hope that you guys enjoyed this as far as your Saturn return. Please go back and look at the video from the beginning. It's got a lot of information. If you want to work with me, it's kellymarisha@gmail.com. You can just email me and I can let you know. Tell me what you need. I don't work with everybody. I don't work with everything. If I don't know it, if I don't know and have proficiency in something, I'm not going to bullshit you. I won't just work with somebody just because I don't need to. It's going to be if it's something that I'm really good at and I know that I can work with you and walk you through a portal, I'll be there. And if not, I'll be honest with you. So, like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Please share this video with somebody if they're in their Saturn return. If you have a friend that's between the ages of 27 and 30 and their lives are falling apart, send them this video. Ages 27 through 30 and their lives are fucking going to shit. Send them this video. It's going to make things make sense. And ain't shit you can do about a Saturn return but roll through it and change with it. So anyway, I love myself. I love you. And I will see you all next time. Bye.